Dear learners, welcome to this session on Technology Analysis for E-Learning. I am Dr. Maithili, the course coordinator of Educational Communication Technology. So, in this video, we will discuss about the technology analysis for e-learning courses. So, the structure for this session is we will see what are the learning outcome, how to plan on e-learning courses and what are the challenges and what to consider for e-learning course development and what are the e-learning teaching environments and what are the interactive tools and how to select the tools for teaching learning process and what is rubric and how to design a rubrics for the assessment and how to evaluate the course, and lastly we will see the summarize the video. So, what are the learning outcome for this video session? After going through this session, you will able to discuss the planning of e-learning course and its challenges, explain e-learning teaching environment, discuss different tools used for developing e-content and interactivity, explain the rubric and the design, and discuss the e-learning course evaluation. So, a well designed e-learning course have flexibility, that means flexibility in time and flexibility in the location. Wherever the student sits at their own place and pace, they have to study the e-learning courses. And interaction, so the interaction among the student to instructor and student to content interaction and engage the student and the learning. So, first we will discuss what are the challenges while designing we will face. So, while designing we should take care of the timing, iterative process, that means how much time you are providing for the student to learn and to do the learning the content as well as do the assignments and activity. So, identifying the outcomes and creating assessment, online interaction and activity, adopting and developing the e-content for the selected course to the learning environment, and developing community of practice, appropriate learning tools, that means appropriate online tools for developing the e-content as well as the assessment. The developing community of practice involve the interaction among the peers, among the peer and instructor and among the student and the learning environment, that means online environment, because student has to access the online environment, they will interact with the environment to provide or to access the learning material or to submit the assessment. So, another thing is the teaching challenges, how we can as a teacher, how the teacher use the online environment for teaching the student. First of all, since this is the online environment and teacher and student in the face-to-face environment is not there here, so teacher has to keep the student engaged with their activity and keep also to track the student, how their students are performing, and also manage the workload, how the workload in the sense that how to upload or managing the teaching content as well as the activity and interacting with the student and student tracking and managing the students. Sometimes the student will demotivated from the online environment, so teacher role is to take care of their motivation of the student and clear the misconception on the subject. Everything will be taken place that all or the challenges while teacher facing online. And how to plan a course. So, planning a course also very much important in an online environment. That means when you are going for the e-learning courses, the course selection planning of the course is very important. For example, who are the target audience? You have to first of all take care of the audience, the level of the audience, whether this course is for undergraduate student or graduate student or diploma level or the PG diploma level. So, you have to take care of the level of the audience and what are the course goals and objective, that means the learning outcome of that particular course, that also you have to define it, and the duration of the course, that also you have to design. For example, if it is a course for a certificate course, then the duration may be you have to design align with the duration will be aligned with the credit of the course. And to design the course, the very most important concept is the instructional design. So what is instructional design? Instruction design is the systemic process of translating general principles of learning and instruction into plan for instructional material and learning. So here the instructional design to develop the instructional material and teaching learning process and how the student will learn the instructional material. Let us discuss what are the process involved in the instructional development. So there are 5 processes involved in this. First one is analysis, design, development, evaluate and revise. So analysis involved that we have to take, if you are preparing or content or any assessment or any process for teaching learning, you have to analyze whether the content is suitable for the level of the audience, and once it is suitable for the level of the audience, then you have to design. That means you have to design that whether the content is in the format of text format or audio, video and all, you have to prepare the note or prepare the academic note for that, and after that you have to develop the content and evaluate it whether this is coming with all the quality and then everything, the content evaluation. Then if it is anything is there, revise it, and then the final product will be ready for the teaching learning process. What to consider for e-learning course development? When you are developing the course, you have to see the following thing you have to consider while developing the course. One is the learning outcome, another one is e-content, online assessments, learning activities, interaction, technology and evaluation. So the important of establishing the outcomes, that is first decide what we want to give to our student and able to do when they finish the course. That means first you have to decide what is we want to give to our student, that our student want to know from this course, or able to do after completing the course, what they will able to do after completing the course. Then look at the activities and tasks that will make the learning meaningful, fun and relevant. E-learning and teaching environment, we will discuss about this. So when we are coming to the environment, teaching environment, we can go with the live synchronous interactivity or synchronous learning environment. If it is a live or synchronous, then you have to increase, this will increase the personal active interaction, because we are in live, we are synchronous mode, we are in the synchronous mode. So the personal interaction will be more in the live section, and it is a closeness, that means the live section will be limited period. So that within the limited period you are teaching learning interaction and everything should be take place, and that will be the spontaneous, because you are on a live, student and teacher interaction will be live. So the teacher can spontaneously respond to the queries of the learner. And if it is a non-live or asynchronous mode, then you have to post the content or lecture note in environment, and recorded information and the instruction will be lead in this asynchronous mode. A flexible location and or the time, so anytime they can come for the interaction. That means at the time and place is not is a fixed here, it is a flexible. Student can anytime they can interact with the content. And reflection and response time for the students, because we are giving the time to the student to reflect on that particular topic. and then ongoing discussion, we can that discussion can be they extended for some time, and participation, tracking and everything is involved in this asynchronous mode. And central content distribution, that means if the content may be distributed among the student, and the student can anytime they can interact with their own pace and place. So there are many interaction tools are available. For the classroom interaction, we can use wiki, we can use email, we can use the phone for the interaction, and we can use the social media technology like a Facebook, Twitter, blog, wiki, and the bookmarking, etc. And also we can use the podcasting and the YouTube group project, and these are the classroom interaction. We can use it for the synchronous mode as well as the asynchronous mode. So what are the teaching tools we can use it for the e-learning courses? 3D tools for animation and comics creation, and audio editing we can use it for some tools for audio editing, blogging, games and quizzes, instructional videos and video sharing, and online storage and sharing, photo editing tools, social networking, tagging for that. Tags are very important. We can use it for the bookmarking, and then desktop publishing, language learning tools, mind mapping, and survey and polling tools, timelines, presentation tools, slide sharing and etc., video editing tools. These are the important tools which we can use it for teaching learning purpose, because when you are designing and developing, we need a tool to develop the content for the learners. And there are some 3D tools are available. The open source tools are the Blender, which is an excellent open source 3D content creation suite. We can use that Blender software to create the 3D animation content, and also SketchUp and photo synthesis. These are the some of the tools we can use it for the 3D type of animation and 3D content we can create using these tools. And animation and comic strips we can use using these many tools are available. This is for example, we can use the demo comics master, and then you can use it for the Tudos and Wiki. These are the some of the tools we can use it for the animation creation. And audio editing tool, Audacity is an open source tool where you can use the that is a audio software. You can record, install, and then you can make it audio clips for the content. And Audio Expert, these are the some of the tools we can use it for audio editing tools. And bookmarking and online collaboration, Delicious is a very important, very famous tool for bookmarking. For example, if you are reading any, as a teacher, you are reading any content, and then you can bookmark it and share it to the student. The same content can be viewed and go through by the student. So teacher learning interaction can use the bookmarking for the learning process. So Delicious, Pinterest, these are the bookmarking tools and online collaboration tools which can be used for the teaching learning purpose. We can interact with the student. This is a we can called as a journal, which is used for the interaction among the students and these teacher. So blogger.com and Wikispace and WordPress, these are the some of the famous blogging tools for which is used for the teaching learning purpose. And desktop publishing, yes, we are using the open source software, Open Office for use it. This is a free software. I have listed here for the free open source software which can be used by you also. You can you can go through the Google, and then you can type it Open Office, that you can install in your system to make use. This is a replica of the MS Office. So this also can be used for developing the content. And gaming, quizzes and educational activities are there. These are the some of the tools. And for quizzes, the hot potato is a open source tools where you can develop the multiple choice questions, short answer, jumbled sentence, crossword, match the following, and gap filling exercise, etc. that can be used in a this is a free software. You can use it for the web based quizzes and web based assessment, or otherwise you can incorporate in the teaching learning environments for such as learning management system like a Moodle, Canvas. These are the you can integrate with this package and make use of the assessment. And mind mapping, this will be useful for you to create the content analysis. The concept mapping will be helpful for the designing phase. So these are the some of the tools which can be used for the FreeMind is one of the famous mind mapping tool where you can use to create your concept mapping, which can be used for content developer and also for the student, how they can go with the content. The mapping will be available to them for easy learning. And so some of the things which we are very much once the content and activity and assessment developed, we need a platform to implement the e-learning courses, to upload the courses for live to live. So there should be a learning management where you have to upload all the content and the student will come and interact with the content and the teacher. So here is some of the learning management system so I have placed here as a open source and as well as the proprietary softwares. So these are the some of the open source softwares such as Moodle, A-Tutor, Canvas, and the OLET. These are the some of the open source learning management system. And if you want to buy for your institutional purpose or you want to pay the thing, then there are the Blackboard and then CNET. These are the some of the Joomla. These are the learning environment is there where you can use the learning management system for your teaching learning purpose. And for content delivery, we can discuss with the how we can go with the content delivery. So for that, you have to give the online format, the electronic text. That means there should be either Word format or in the PDF format, and the pre-recording lectures. These are the some of the thing we have to take care. And live online sections that can be also recorded. If it is a synchronous mode, then live lectures should be either you can design for the live lecture also. The material development and organization. If you want to discuss, you want to develop a content for that you have to maintain the length of the, especially for the audio and video, the length of the duration of the video and duration of the audio program you should be take care, because if it is a too long, student cannot able to listen properly, and then the attention span will be the we have to take care of that also, and depends on the level of the audience. And modality, chunking and consistency and sizes, these are the some of the component you have to look into while developing the material. The file format also very important. For example, if you want to upload some of the text material in the learning LMS, then you have to see whether it is a PDF or doc file or it's a rich text file and all. If it is a PowerPoint, you have to see that compatibility is very important here while you are uploading the file format. And also the accessibility. So because accessibility, why I have mentioned here is that we have to see whether the student and the user end should have the suitable software to access the content. And communication and collaboration, which is a very important component of the e-learning courses. The communication should be student and content, because whatever content you are uploading, that should be communicated properly to the student, and peer interaction and interaction with the instruction. And communication tools are, you can select for asynchronous mode, then you can design a discussion forum, wiki, blog, email and etc. And for the synchronous, then you have to go for the live chatting, virtual class, all the things you have to consider. Collaborative online activity. So group discussion, case studies, debates, panel discussion, and then students lead support, peer review, non-verbal communication, guest speakers, collaborative writing and presentation, role play, gaming, demonstration, brainstorming. These are the some of the collaborative online activities you can consider while developing the online courses. And assessment and evaluation is very important, since it is an online environment. Portfolio, learning contract and self-assessment, peer assessment, these are the some of the assessment technique one can be used for the e-learning courses. So rubric is very important. What is the rubric? This describes how the student will be graded. Help the instructor matching the learning outcome with the assessment instruction. So one should be concentrate on the rubric to develop, so that student is very clear that how my assessment will be graded. So rubric will help the student also to develop their assessment, and teacher can match with their learning outcome for the learning in assessment. And designing the rubric. So we have to consider following steps while designing the rubric. Make sure that the assessment is congruent with the learning outcome. Brainstorm various ways to the student can demonstrate their outcome, and list criteria for what count as a quality work. Divide the criteria into distinct categories. Use clear, concise language, don't use negative language, and give the rubric to the student prior to the assessment. This is very important, that rubric, while you are uploading the assessment, you have to upload the rubric along with the assessment. And these are the some of the example for the rubric. When the learning outcome, suppose if you are considering the learning outcome, developing the learning outcome for an OER based e-learning course, this is a learning outcome. Then the learning activity will be the develop appropriate learning outcome to be achieved by the learners within the duration of the course. So learning assessment task may be post the key competencies and the learning outcome in the online discussion forum. Select 3 set of learning outcomes posted by your peers, and critically comment on the appropriateness of the learning outcomes for the competencies they addressed, that means student addressed. So these are the some of the assessment you can design for along with the learning outcome. So technology consideration for e-learning courses are clearly list the minimum requirement. Suppose if you want any student want to take up the e-learning courses, prior to the registration, students should know that what are the technology consideration they should have while doing this course. So you have to list minimum requirement for that particular course to join, and provide training during the orientation period. That means if it is you are going for any live interaction tools, you have to explain the tools operation to the student before taking the classes, and you have to anticipate the problem, what are the problem may face. For example, some student may not able to connect the equipments properly, then they may be putting the mic in mute and they are answering to the queries or quizzes. So these are the things you have to be anticipate before starting. You have to ask the student to do the following you have to give the instruction before the starting the any live session or classroom, and provide technological support to the student. That is very important. Throughout the classes, throughout the learning course, you have to provide the technological support for the students. So lastly, you have to evaluate. After completing the course, you have to evaluate the course. The course evaluation is an instrument designed to give you feedback on how well you have established your student or enabled your student to meet the stated course outcome, created a viable and rich learning environment, provided for quality instructor feedback, interaction and facilitation, included the relevant and meaningful resources and activities, resulted in a rich successful learning experiences. So let us sum up this session. A well designed e-learning course have flexible time and location, interactivity, that is teacher student interactivity, peer to peer interaction, and student engagement and learning. The challenges are identifying the outcomes and creating assessments, online interaction and activities, adapting and developing material, and developing the community of practices. And e-learning teaching learning environments are live and synchronous or non-live and asynchronous mode. Interactive tools are blogging, email, message boards, online bulletin boards, threaded discussion, etc. We can use it for our teaching learning environment. Various authoring tools are discussed to use and develop e-content. We have discussed the 3D tools, blogging, bookmarking, collaborating tools, desktop publishing tools, gaming, quizzes and mind mapping. These are the tools we have discussed. And we have discussed the rubrics, which are how the student will be graded and how the rubric helps the instructor matching the learning outcome with the assessment instruments. And we discussed lastly, a course evaluation is an instrument designed to give you feedback on how well you have enabled your learners to meet the stated learning outcomes. So with this, I thank all of you for watching this video. Thank you.